Hi and welcome back. This is the video that brings all our learning together. We've followed everything in quite a sensible way so far. We've had the introduction, we've had the signing up to a Betfair account, we've had the familiarity, the introduction to Betfair, we've gone through how to choose a race, and this is probably the key putting it all together video. So you'll notice that the 415 Newmarket is one that we actually highlighted in the last video. It meets our criteria. It's a 2-mile race. It's got a strong favourite and it's got a number of horses within the price range that we were looking for. We always put our bet on around 10 minutes before the off. And it's now 4 minutes past 4 here, so we're about ready to put a bet on. I'm just going to have a look, see which takes my fancy, to be fair. Let's have a look. Right, I'm liking the look of this Arabian Comet here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to first put a lay bet in there. Can I get a bit value, better value? So let's have a look. If I put okay, so I'm going to put £7 at 14.5 odds in there, and we'll wait for that to get matched. I'll refresh it. Hopefully that get matched in a moment. Now that's part matched. We always choose a race between the odds of 10 and 20 because we're not expecting the horses to win, we're expecting the prices to drift. And that's really important for the system, because as the prices drift, we'll be buying back this. So if you can imagine that we go into a shop and you're the shopkeeper, to put something on your shelf, you'd have, say, bought it at £10. You need to sell it for more than £10 to make a profit, pay your overheads and so on and so forth. And that's exactly what we're doing here. We've bought a bet at odds of 14.5. So we now need to sell a bet at odds higher than 14.5. So what I'm now going to do, well, I'll just explain this first. As we stand, if any of these horses win, I'm going to win £7. However, if Arabian Comet wins, I'm going to lose £94.50, and that's really not a great situation to be in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to offset this bet, and to do that, I'm going to back it. Now, as you can tell, I put a lay bet on at £7, so I'm going to use a back bet of £6 here, and the difference between 7 and 6 is my £1 profit, which now shows here. That's not still good enough, because that would still present me with a loss of £13.50 if Arabian Comet came in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to increase the odds on Arabian Comet. As I said, I wanted this price to drift outwards before the off, and hopefully it will do. So I'm going to keep clicking this up button here to increase the odds, and I want this, as this is going down, I'll just show you again. I'll click up again. That's £1.50. I need a positive figure. So, okay, there's £1.50 positive and £1 on any of the others. So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to place my bet. I'm going to confirm my bet. And the key part to this strategy is this button here. It's keep. By clicking this button, it means that when the horse race goes off, then my bet stays valid if it's not been matched by that point. Otherwise, if that wasn't ticked, then as soon as the race goes off, all bets are cancelled. So I'll click the keep button, it just overrides that cancellation, and that's that. That's the bet done. So we can see in real time here that there's potentially a loss at the moment of 25 pence. We've got 7 minutes or so before the race, and I expect these prices to jiggle around before then. So there we go, we're now at a break-even point, and it's going to go back and forth all the time before the race. I'm going to keep the video rolling because I don't want anyone accusing me of photoshopping anything or doing anything untoward. So if there's a little bit of dead air, please bear with me. It is done in real time, and it's important it is. So you've got the confidence in me that A, I know what I'm doing, and B, that you'll be able to follow that as well. Very important when you're putting your money onto a selection or a method like this. So the good thing about this race, we've got a strong favourite, and I expect a lot of money to be going on to this before the off. As you can see, the price is coming down, and what I'm hoping is that these prices will start drifting out a little bit. So this is a very simple system, and I will be showing a few more advanced techniques and adding more content over time. But it's important that you start somewhere, and this is probably the simplest and most ethical and most profitable way of dealing with Betfair, to be fair, because you're taking very minimal risk, and that's very important. And the good thing is you can actually use your free money if you've signed up with Betfair as well, so you're taking even less of a risk. If we look up here, we can see there's £450,000 matched on this particular race, which is a lot of money. By the off, we'll probably be close to about £600,000. And it just goes to show how much money is going on these particular races. It's a massive industry, and there's people making massive, massive profits. So it just demonstrates that if you were to up your stakes considerably, there's not really a problem getting things matched. The market is big enough to accommodate big bets as well. The other key thing with Betfair is they'll never close your account. Unlike a bookmaker, if you start winning too much money, Betfair don't mind because they take a 5% commission off your winnings. So they're quite happy for you to be successful, to be fair. So there's 600,000 matched already, and we've still got a good 3 minutes before the race goes off. One of the important things is not to let a race go in running. I will show you an advanced strategy that allows you to bet in running, but to start off with, until you're familiar and you started making money, please don't do that, because you actually potentially carry a liability, in this case £94.50 into the race. So if this comes and wins it, the last thing you want to be doing is losing £94. Yes, admittedly, the profit at the moment isn't massive, but it's a profit nonetheless, and if you keep adding up your profits, they'll soon turn into something quite considerable. But please don't risk money when you don't have to. So as you see, the price has drifted a little bit, so we're up to a potential profit of 60p at the moment. It's probably not quite where we want it to be just yet, but I'd certainly take a 60p profit. No problems there at all. Another couple of minutes till the off. If you look up here, the balance is down to £6.45. Once this is matched, you'll find that all that money goes straight back into your account very, very quickly. So as you can see now, our bet has been matched. Our bet has been matched because now, if you look down the side here, all of these will win £1, and Arabian Comet will win £1.50 if that wins. So we've now demonstrated that we've produced a no-loss bet. So it doesn't matter now which of these horses wins, we're going to walk away with at least £1 profit, or 95 pence after Betfair took the 5% commission. So that's a great example of how horses drift in price. You'll see that this was close to 2 when we first looked at the race, and it's now down to sort of 1.7. So that had an awful lot of money placed on it, and it's had to force these prices to drift out. Not everything can drift in. I mean, we could have probably stopped in the race and made another sort of 50 pence. You know, we backed it at 17. It's now, well, it's just gone in play. It just went to 17.5 there, but oh, it's just about to go in play. Excuse me. But it doesn't matter either way now. What I would do at this point, I never normally watch the race, but for education purposes, we'll leave the tape running. We'll see how the race progresses. The reason this says £1.03 here is because there's £1.50 potential profit there if that were to win. And all this does, this just averages out the prices. So I could click on that and potentially make another 3 pence on all of these, and you know, I'd lose a little bit on that. It just equals the profit up. But I'll show you there's nothing to lose. I'll click on that, continue. And there we go. It's just evened out all the prices. So £1.03, £1.03, £1.03, £1.05. So it equalises this. So I've not got a £1.50 blip and £1 here. It equals it as best they can. And that's something you might find useful as you start making your betting pay. So as you get familiar with it, as soon as you get a profit here and it's locked in, then you'd move straight on to the next race. There's no ifs, buts or maybes. There's probably 30 races a day in the UK. Obviously you've got then the South African racing and American racing and racing all around. So, you know, you could have as many as 100 races per day potentially that you can actually bet. Now, that's not to everyone's liking. I mean, in this example, we've just made £1. There's nothing to stop you increasing your stakes and making £10 a race. If you made £10 a race, you know, just on 10 races, that's £100 for about, you know, an hour and a half's work. If you could consider it work, I'm sat on the settee here with a cup of coffee, talking to you and doing my betting, and all these pounds add up. Now, what I did say is when the bet was matched, that the figure would go up. So if I just refresh that, I get my money back into my account. I won't get my profit into the account until after the race is finished. You can see the race is now in play, and obviously these horses are running. Hopefully this flying officer is going to win, I hope, because it looks like he's been groomed to win this race. But as I say, I would never normally watch the race, but just for education, I think it's a good thing. But have a look at the match figure now, £1.3 million just matched on one race. And bearing in mind there's 30 races a day, something like that in the UK. There's considerable incomes being made. You might also find it interesting, to be fair. Up here there's some more tabs. There's a live stream, so we could potentially watch the race. So let's see if we can do that for you now. Just if you wanted to see a little bit of interest. That's the race now. If we just click on that, it should bring up the race in real time. And there we go. Now, I mentioned that on Betfair we could find out what colours there were. You can check the colours with the Betfair market. That's absolutely fine. I say normally I wouldn't bother watching the racing, but everyone's different, and at least I've shown you how to access that information. You won't be able to watch the racing unless you've placed a bet on Betfair. It doesn't allow you to do that, unfortunately. You have to put a bet on of at least £2 in order to see the racing, so please keep that in mind. So it looks like we're coming to the end of the race here. Looks like a little bit of a battle there. So because I've got the microphone plugged in, I can't hear the commentary, so I'm not really sure what's who's who, to be fair. But it'll tell us in a moment. That's going for the line, as we see. That's a nice finish. Okay, so there we go, Flying Officer, which was the one we looked at, the favourite. If I just click back here, there you go, Flying Officer. As you see, the price has gone back down to 0, so that's 1. But as you can tell, it didn't matter what won or lost there. We weren't bothered. We'd got our profit in the bag before the race had even started. So that's the system in a nutshell. I will be producing some more videos with some more races on, that you can use as a point of reference. But that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching.